Alright, welcome back guys to another video. This has been like my first video where I just sit down and record my screen in quite a few months, but we're back. Although I'm not going to be playing a game today, I'm going to be reviewing some games. Um, but before we get into all of that, currently I've been following this Hurricane Milton that's about to hit Florida. Um, I think in like maybe 5 hours or so uh, from the time I'm recording this. And it looks really devastating. So I don't know. I just wanted to take a minute to say that I hope everyone in that area is safe, or if you are from that area, you know, you're safe, and hopefully it's not too bad for you. But yeah, this this looks like quite a insane natural disaster. But in any case, getting back to the actual video, we have this very interesting thing they've released. And I think they've only released it to a select few people. I don't know how they chose which people are selected and whatnot, but I know there's quite a few that have access to this. Um, so basically, I think how this works is that let's say you play a solo duel, and then let's say you think that your opponent made a suspicious guess. You can click on that opponent's profile, report the player, and then you can submit that game link uh, to say that, as evidence basically to uh, say why you think they cheated. I think it probably got to the point where GeoGuessr had too many of these reports to be able to take charge of them all themselves. So they decided to make it a community thing, which I'm not very sure how I feel about yet, but I still want to give it a chance and see how it goes. It could be very good. It could also be misused. But let's just get into this. So if I review a case, it takes me to the round that was reported. On the top here, I can see which mode it was. Duels meaning it's just a moving game. Otherwise, it would say like no move or NPC, I guess. I did test a couple of rounds of this before this video, so I just to get an idea. So this is how it works. And then you have a compass here, which is also nice. And then you can see the perspective of the player, how they played. So here we can see zooming on the bollards, and then yeah, basically we can see exactly how they played, how they made their guess. Um, so for this one, for example, this person seems to be zooming on the sign for quite some time. Um, Hopefully they were not entering that in Google, but they are panning very slowly. They're zooming in a bit weirdly. This looks fairly suspicious, I would say. Oh, but interestingly enough, they only just click Ecuador. They don't go for the 5K here. See, now this kind of throws me off, because if this is a champion division player, I would say this is really odd. Because if you Googled, then you shouldn't, like, if you're a champion division player, like, you should have known Ecuador anyway. You didn't need to Google there. So I'm actually wondering if they give us reports of games that are not from champion division. That would actually make a big difference here. So if GeoGuessr is watching this video, my feedback would be to clarify which division this game is from. Um, and then, or just, I don't know, like initially I just assumed that because I'm in Champion Division, I would get reports of Champion Division players because I think that makes kind of sense. Um, but yeah, like if I see this guess in a Silver Division game, then I would say they're cheating. But in Champion Division game, I feel like that's just kind of stupid if you Google and then you just click Ecuador. So what's the point of Googling? What I'm gonna do here is that I can submit my verdict, and I should presume they're innocent if they are. If I think they're guilty, I can select guilty. Otherwise, not guilty. If I'm not sure, I can do insufficient evidence. I don't think they're guilty of scripting at all. And for Googling, I'm gonna say insufficient evidence because I don't know which division this game is from. So that's where I'm gonna leave this. Let's go on. And I can move on to the next case. So I don't actually know if there's like a set number of cases that I can review, or if there's just like infinite. Oh, you know what? Oh, look at this. It says game mode moving. Earlier it said only duels, so I assume that that was from indeed maybe like a silver division or something where they don't have no move or NPC duels unlocked. That's why it doesn't say moving, but just duels. I think that's what happened, and I think if that is the case, I feel like that previous player probably did Google. But I think just having that division specified somewhere would make this a lot easier, you know. But in any case, let's move on. This is game mode moving, so I assume this is probably like a champion or master division game. We seem to be in Australia here. We have two road names, Bremer Valley, Bonley. Okay, they can indeed move. Okay, Rockley. Of course, in these sort of like rounds, you do miss some context. Like you don't know if the player is from Australia or if they're from somewhere else. Can make a difference, right? Like if you live in Perth, you might or um, oh, that is a interesting switch to make at the very end. There is a chance here that maybe they were having a 50-50 between WA and South Australia. Though I don't really see the reasoning behind this one. Like why they would. This does feel a bit odd the way this guess was made. So there's like here you do have I don't think. Yeah, it says Rockley. I don't know if they were trying to Google that, but well, what I can do actually is because I'm the reviewer here, I can just Google Rockley now, Rockley, Australia, and see where that takes me. That does say South Australia, and they have guessed very close in South Australia as well. You know what? This is kind of suspicious, I would say. But again, I can't say I'm 100%, but like, this is not an easy South Australia to guess. Like, they didn't even look at the car or the copyright or anything like that. We don't have short reflectors. We don't have stobies. So unless you're like a decent Australia player, this should not be an easy state to get. Um, I think I'm more leaning towards them having Googled here because they did zoom into Western Australia at first, which is odd, especially with this green coverage. Yeah, I don't get why they zoomed in here. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna say guilty for Googling. Again, this is my opinion, and I am one of the reviewers. Maybe some of you in the comments might disagree. Maybe you think it's borderline. But I think just a master or a champion division player, or even a silver, I mean, if it's like lower than a master player, then this is certainly Googling because they should never get South Australia that easily here. But even for a master or even a champion division player, I think that is fairly suspicious way to play. Like, you wouldn't really want to zoom into WA at all this round. And if you did, then you would probably at least try to scan for Rockley there, but looks like they didn't try to scan for anything here, and they just straight up um, switched up and guessed basically the 5K. So I'm gonna say this is guilty. If other reviewers think that it's not, then maybe their votes can overtake it. Another one in moving, a lot of moving reports here, looks like. So here we are in the middle of, like, right in the middle of a city. Bilbao Autorista, and they click Bilbao. This should never be suspicious, it says the city. So this should definitely be not guilty on both accounts. Right, here we are in Cambodia, I guess. This is a no move game. Um, so I think no move. Yeah, you have a Cambodian poll. You can see they're checking it out as well. So far nothing suspicious. They are, panning in while zoomed in, and then they plonk. Although the plonk is insanely close, I would have to say. Um, so let's submit verdict. They're definitely not Googling. I'm gonna say they're not scripting. I mean, maybe there's a small chance, but doesn't like it's not suspicious enough for me to want to say that they are. So I'm gonna go ahead with that. Next one, again a moving one. This time in Bangladesh. I think there's an address like right at spawn there, but they didn't look at it. Copper chimney. Okay, they are zoomed onto the sign for quite some time. Hopefully they are not entering something into Google. Agrabad branch. That is not a city I've heard of. And they are again just sitting there, presumably looking for where the location is in Google. Oh, if they 5K now, then it's suddenly a Google. Well, that is oh, that is very suspicious, I can't lie. I mean, it says Chittagong here, I can see it NMPZ, but it doesn't look like they care about that. Because otherwise, when the route loads in, the first thing you would do is zoom onto that sign. Chittagong is like the old name of Chattogram, of course. Yeah, this looks to me at least like a Google. Alright, next round also in moving. Let's see what they found here. Bernhard fashion. Bernhard fashion. Hopefully, I mean, I feel bad saying like people are Googling. So hopefully we don't see another case of Googlers. And so far it doesn't look suspicious to me at all. It says Austria there as well. So that should Salzburg on that. Did they guess Salzburg? Oh no, this is just a Vienna street sign. Okay. So they did guess Vienna. Okay, this should not be suspicious at all. Not guilty. There we go. Next round. How many of these am I gonna do? I don't know. Yeah, it is indeed hard to report people for an NPC gameplay, I guess, because yeah, you can't really see what they are looking at. Okay, this guy's just AFK. What is going on here? Half the round is over. Nothing has happened. And they zoom in. Interesting that they're zooming in so slowly. They click Kigali. I mean, there's a way I could justify this being legit. Maybe it's like some person making a YouTube video trying to play NMPZ in a moving game, and then maybe they're like describing their thoughts here, saying, "Oh, maybe this could be Rwanda, maybe this could be Kenya. I'm not very sure, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe this guy's walking on the right side, so maybe we're driving right, so it's Rwanda, something like that." I would say they're certainly not Googling here. Um, and for scripting, I would say insufficient evidence. I don't think it's like very clear cut here. Alright, let's go next case. Okay, right in the middle of Oslo. Ring 1, ring 2. Um, okay. They do click Oslo. Interesting, why was this reported? It says Oslo in huge letters. Um, I guess it's a bit odd that they didn't instantly click it and move the step or two, but this is just mocking it. Not guilty. Alright, we're in Philippines. This is a moving game. Let's see what they find here. Okay, interesting. Very slow movement. They have a kilometer marker there, which does help. Wow, this is such a weird mate to play moving. Maybe it's just their internet or PC that doesn't let them move quicker or something. But it's not suspicious at least. Okay, this looks like a fairly long round as well. Alright. I mean, I don't really want to skip forward, but I wish there was a way to like 1.5x the speed or something. It's a bit tedious now, having to deal with this slow movement. Okay, now the person is just standing still for a while. Maybe their internet got disconnected or something. Maybe their browser crashed. This way to evacuation area. The sign has nothing on it. What does that say? Welcome La Castellana something. Okay, that does say the province. And then so this is a full address. So this should in theory be enough. Although they have been staring at this sign for longer, by this time you would assume they would open their map and zoom on the 5K. Hopefully they are not Googling. I mean, it says moving here, so again, I assume this is like at least a gold rated player, maybe even master rated player. Yeah, I would really appreciate if they just showed which division this is from. Or what the rating of the player was at the time of this game. That might also help. I think that's probably even better. Just the rating of the player at the time of this. And the why not both? Why not both? Yeah, this is very suspicious the way they've done it now. Um, yeah, this looks a lot like they've just Googled. Now they're getting closer. Oh, they're in the correct spot. So this whole sequence of putting this plonk down, it should have happened let's say in 5 seconds. Um, after they got to this sign. Maybe 10 if your internet is bad or something, your Chrome crashed or whatever. Yeah, this looks to me like quite an obvious Google. Okay, so I will say yes, this is a Google and submit. Alright, let's do one last case and then it's a no move game, so let's see. Goldstone Retail Park. There's a little welcome to Sophology. Okay, now they're not panning. Oh, oh, okay. And they just happen to know that it's Worthing. Yeah, sure. That's at home, Sophology. The kitchen store. Oh, maybe he wants to Google the kitchen store as well to make sure. Okay, these are terrible, like. Oh, wow. Okay, just 5K is great. Oh my god. Okay, well, this is also a fairly obvious Google, I would say. Unless this person is from Worthing, in which case I would expect them to already have 5K'd it earlier. Goldstone Retail Park. I'm just trying to see if I'm missing some text here. Camera controlled. Don't think I am really. don't think I am. Okay, to me, yeah, they surely just googled Goldstone Retail Park, so I'm gonna put that in, and that's where I'm gonna leave it for this video. So thank you for watching. Let me know um, if you disagreed with one of my verdicts, what you would give as a verdict. And if you have this feature, what do you think of it? What new features would you like to see? For me personally, I would definitely like to see the rating and the division of the player, and then maybe some options to speed up the recording. 'Cause sometimes in moving games it can can be quite a long one. Um, but yeah, thanks for watching. I will see you guys next time.